Hey guys, my name is Miska and welcome to Overwatch Central, and we have some pretty interesting stuff for you today. First off, kind of an exclusive I think. I'm not sure if everybody's been sent this or not, but either way I got an email a while back about this and that's why we had those little odd recipes here and there. The Overwatch cookbook is becoming a thing and it's gonna be out in not too long. October 1st is when its official release is happening. It'll be something like $35, so pretty decent pricing. And here it is. This is a copy that I was sent today and it included a bunch of other cool stuff. It included a tracer apron, it included some ingredients for a Winston recipe in there. I can't show you all the recipes in the book, I can't show you the entire thing for pretty obvious reasons. It's also just not been released yet, so we're not really meant to show you all of the stuff. But there are some really cool things here and some cool lore bits here and there, as you saw in that video that I covered, mostly relating to heroes' different origins and nationalities and where their roots are. But yeah, this is really cool stuff. The World of Warcraft one like this was really awesome, and this one is just as good, if not better. I've really been enjoying it so far, and I'll report back when I've cooked something from it, because I'm definitely going to be doing that soon. I'm not sure if this tracer apron will be on sale or not. I imagine it will be. Maybe it is already, maybe I just missed it, but yeah, thought that stuff was really cool and wanted to show that to you properly. Like I said, it's out October 1st on my birthday actually, and you can pick it up on Amazon and a bunch of other book websites. I'll leave a link in the top comment if I remember to at least. Moving on from that, I want to talk about something else that's kind of lore related actually, and that is animated shorts. It's something that we haven't actually seen in a while, and that's exactly what I'm here to point out. In August every single year, 2016, 2017, and 2018, we had animated shorts shown at Gamescom. Blizzard weren't at Gamescom this year, and thus we didn't get an animated short. The first year we had the Bastion animated short with Eichenwald and such, or at least out in the German forest. The year after that we had Rise and Shine with May at Eco Point Antarctica and all of that stuff. And then 2018 last year we of course had the Diva Rising Star animated short with Diva defending Busan from a bunch of evil robots. I can't remember the name of them. But this year nothing in August, which is a little bit odd. And which is why I'm also excited to see where they take that. Maybe they connected in with some other announcement instead. But I wanted to mainly point out that when Blizzard cancel things entirely or just don't do any more of it at all, they tend to announce it here and there, or at least say that it's on hold for now, even if that's all they say. They do tend to acknowledge things like this. Take for example when they said that they would have a feature ready in September last year actually, and then they updated us later on and said, yeah, actually it's gonna be a bit longer, but they acknowledged that that thing was still kind of on hold. When the Overwatch graphic novel was cancelled, they made some good announcements around that, so that was clear that had happened. So I wonder really what they've got cooking, but I've been noticing some questions about it, and I don't have any info that you guys don't have, but sit tight, I'm sure it's gonna be good. Speaking of announcements and such, Role Queue is coming to Live Client in the proper way. So we had the Role Queue beta season, right? Testing out different things and seeing what would happen, and now on September 1st, the new season with Role Queue is starting, which is a full-length proper season, and that's going to be really interesting. They've apparently made some tweaks to things and just learned a lot about how we've played Role Queue and such, and there are some answers and I guess questions as well from developer Scott Mercer, and I'll summarize it real quick for you and pick out the important bits. First off, the MMR and SR information from the Role Queue beta season will not be thrown out the window entirely. At first, that's what we thought, that's what we had heard, that's the only announcement we had, but Scott Mercer corrected that here and said that they are throwing out the stats, so you won't have the stats from the Role Queue beta season in your profile most likely, and other things like that, but they will be using some of that MMR and SR information to try and seed people better. It kind of makes sense if you think about it. They're doing a test season to try and figure out how to seed people. It'd be kind of weird if they just ignored that entirely afterwards. But yeah, that was a clarification that I thought was pretty important to include here. Secondly, it's gonna take a while for some DPS players to queue, and there's not really much that Blizzard can actually just do about that currently. It's just a pure supply and demand type of question. And I myself have been really surprised how few people play tank. The tank queue has been like 30 seconds, whilst the DPS queue has been upwards of like 8 to 10 to probably even more in the Grandmaster tier, but usually it should be around 3 to 6 minutes on DPS. But yeah, it can be a bit longer depending on where you're at and who's playing and at what hour you're playing. There's not really much Blizzard can do about that. And finally, regarding the SR being too high or too low, there are some things that Blizzard acknowledged there, such as highly rated players in, for example, Grandmaster, not playing their main role and still placing very highly because they played maybe support a few games up there, even though they mostly play tank. And that's something that they're working on trying to make better. But they do also believe that most of the placement stuff that have happened and stats that they have looked at have been fairly accurate and have lined up with where they want things to be. Scott Mercer underlines many times in here as well that the best way to get to the SR you want to be and to get to the correct sort of skill level and be in the games that you should be in is to just keep playing. The more you play, the more the matchmaker learns about you. And I've had times where I've lost maybe like 3 games in a row, but I felt like I've still been doing alright, and then actually not lost a lot of SR in role queue. So it seems like it is genuinely improving and genuinely making smarter decisions about MMR. So hopefully that continues into the next season, which again starts on Sunday. So for me, for example, I live in Sweden, it's Central European time. That season will start at 2 a.m. for me, and if you live in the UK, that's 1 a.m. and yeah, you can figure out your time zone from there. And that's because they're going after Coordinated Universal Time, or UTC, which currently here in Sweden, for example, we're 2 hours ahead of. Alright, hope all that makes sense and all that was interesting for you. If it was, then leave a like and yeah, subscribe if you want more Overwatch content. That's everything for today. Thank you very much for watching and we'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.